Hey guys, Czar here. Hope all is well. Trust you're having a good day so far. Happy Friday to you. It's Friday, Jan 24th, 2025. It's 9:29, 1 minute to the open. These are the three sisters. The daily frame as usual, NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow. As you can see, we have marginal up days here, really an inside day, more or less, on the NASDAQ, kind of resting after a very big leg up here. Very similar picture on the S&P, just marginally broke yesterday's high, but back in yesterday's range, and almost identical here on the Dow, but a bearish body for now on the Dow, slightly bullish body on the S&P, and of course on the NASDAQ, pushing into the open here in 20 seconds or so. These are the two sisters 1 minute charts. I know I repeat the same thing every day, and I do that on purpose. VWAP, volume weighted average price, we are at the upper end of two standard deviations here, guys, on the bands. Two standard deviations above, two standard deviations below, and we're sitting here just kind of waiting now for this thing to open. There's the open, guys. We'll wait for this 1 minute candle to close, and then we will have the 1 minute open range. Daily chart, 30-minute chart, 1 minute chart, sometimes 30 seconds depending on the movement. Let's take a look at the 30-minute chart because it's so very important to me and to my models, all of them for that matter. And you can see here's yesterday, right? Asia, flat, very, very flat and choppy European session, and then we eventually made a move after a really horrific open here, guys. A lot of traders got hurt waiting for things to move, and then the final 15-20 minutes of the day is when this big move happened. It was a choppy, ugly day yesterday for many traders. We've been grinding sideways here overnight. Asia, Europe, which of course is still open till 11:30 New York time, and it is now 9:31, and this is the first candle, 30-minute candle of the New York session. It is an inside candle to the pre-market candle so far at the upper end of the range of the entire overnight session, right? Resistance and resistance. Bearish body for now. That can change very quickly. There's the 1 minute open range, the height of which is 15.75 points, guys. Very narrow range. The S&P, 5 points, guys. Yesterday it was 2 points, and that led into a very, very lackluster market open where a lot of traders got chopped trying to trade inside of a tight range. This range that went way back to here. Remember that? All right, but today is another day. I'm going to be very patient, as always here, guys, on the open. Won't do anything unless the market says do something. The daily again, guys, is a doji candle at this point. Indecision, right? Body in the middle of the wick and kind of resting inside of yesterday's range for now. This body kind of trying to decide if it wants to flip bearish or bullish. It's right in the middle right now. Pushing down. I won't be jumping on this, guys. I'm going to look for some direction. The daily is nondescript, right? Non-directional. It's giving me no bias. The 30-minute is in a fairly tight range. It's giving me no direction, no bias. If we only looked at the 1 minute chart, dropping below the open range, we might be thinking, well, take a short. Nothing wrong with that if you're a micro scalper, and that can work very well. In fact, possibly would have. But that's not what we're doing here today. Patience is the name of the game. Pulled all the way down and tested VWAP here, guys, and rallying back up again on the NASDAQ. And we're stuck very much asleep here in the middle of the open range on the S&P. Nothing going on here for me, guys. Now, guys, I think as long as we're inside of this range right here, see that big candle and this wick right here, I'm not doing anything. So way down to here, and let this thing play. This could be seen as a break and a retest, but not for me. Dropping down below. Now this, of course, could absolutely go and take us to the bottom of that zone, but I'm not seeing much support here from the S&P, guys. Very much asleep. 500 stock index, and it's just flat. In other words, the sentiment is very much waiting here for something. me just take a look at that news. I did send it out this morning. Yeah, 9:45, guys. 9:45. News coming. Okay, I'm not touching this then, guys, until after that news. News in 5 seconds. There it goes. All right, the market liked that. Initial reaction pushing right up into that zone and slightly beyond. Let's see if we're going to react here or continue higher. And as usual, nothing for me to do. Just going to sit here, guys, patiently waiting for some structure and some calm to set up in this market. Pushing higher here, guys. I won't be acting upon this until I see some more structure. It's 9:48 going into 10 a.m. news again. 10 a.m. news, existing home sales, also high impact. Pushing higher here, guys. News in 7 minutes. I'm going to ignore this for now. Under normal circumstances, this would be a fairly nice entry for me. Pushing above prior day's high. In fact, it would be a very good entry under normal circumstances. But given that we are going into these housing prices, which honestly to me has not been high impact news. In fact, I find it to be medium or low impact most of the time. But today, given what's going on here, guys, in this choppiness the last few sessions, I'm going to play it more conservatively and wait for the announcement to come out and for the market to assimilate. Even now it's looking a little jittery in advance of the news. 6 minutes to go here. All right, guys, as you can see, we've had this kind of sloppy break and retest of the open range, but we have news in 1 minute. In fact, about 50 seconds here. And this thing could absolutely shoot much higher here. But I'm not touching it until the news settles down. This is Friday, guys. Had a pretty good week. And I'm ready to watch and see how these markets develop. I just deleted this zone here, guys. Let me put it back here for a moment so you can see that one right there. Just deleting it. We blasted through. We've tagged and tested or are testing this one here. This one again could be blasted through any moment now, given the torque and energy of the daily breaking prior day's high. But this news is really throwing a little bit of a wrench in the works here and preventing me from doing anything aggressive. 5 seconds to go. 2 seconds. And the news should be out. And it is. Yep. I'm just going to let this play out here, guys. Even up here, I want to see what happens after we get up to this wick here on the daily. Nothing for me to do here, guys. I'm going to enjoy my coffee, and I will bring you back. All right, guys. Big shift candle coming into the works here at 10:03. Dropping down below the open range. This is interesting. Mixed messages here, of course. We have an up day now with a bullish body on the daily. We are rejecting from a very key zone from yesterday. We are below the open range. EMA's still up inside of the open range and crossing over bearish now. I won't be doing anything any moment soon here. We'll wait and see how this develops in through here. Not touching this yet, guys. All right, guys, we're back, and it's 10:08. All the news is out, and this market is doing nothing. Let's take a look at the two sisters. You can see we are still inside the open range on the S&P. We are above VWAP here on the NASDAQ and the S&P. Looking like we might want to round over here a little bit, but there's nothing for me to do. In fact, even if we broke down here below, I wouldn't be touching this as long as we have all of this mess to the left here, and I likely wouldn't be going long anytime soon. So I'm going to call it a video here, guys. This is another, I would say, a mini masterclass on how not to take trades based on what you're seeing on the 1 minute chart, especially with multiple news items coming out. And you can see the chop and grind that we had here this morning. So this is a no trade indication, and hopefully you learned a little bit here about zones and the importance of certain zones versus others and what have you. Have an amazing day and an incredible weekend. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Take care.